guys, welcome back for episode 2 of our race team development series. So I'm here with Jordan once again, and we actually, before we get Jordan on the sim and get him started, I just wanted to explain to you guys some pivots that we're doing for the team. So we actually realized behind the scenes that you can't just have a start in the GR86 and then move on to the GT3. We're kind of just looking back on the iRacing format and realize that you have to go through all the different licenses, start in a certain car, and then progress through a few others. So you could eventually end in the GT3 class.
Yep.
So we're actually going to be changing the team a little bit. Instead of just having the junior and the pro team, what you actually start on before you're on either of those teams will be the development team. So Jordan, that's what you're on right now. And the goal of the development team is to work your way to the end. So there's 3 different paths that you guys can take on the Sim1 team. The first is in the open wheel class. So the final end goal for that will be the Formula 1 car. We also have the GT class, which the end goal will be the GT3 car. And then the last team that we're gonna have is the prototype class, where you'll be racing in the LMP1 car. But in the meantime, while you're developing into that, you'll be, throughout these different series and different cars. So Jordan, we spoke a little bit before. I know you mentioned you wanted to go down the GT pathway to eventually end up in the GT3 category. But you do have a decision to make right now, whether you want to start in the BMW M2 Cup or the Mazda MX-5 Cup. So before you make your decision, I'll just give you this brief info. So the MX-5 Cup is obviously going to be a lot easier to control in comparison to the M2. I've talked to a few people that have done the M2, and I know there is a good group of people that don't like that car, just because the way it has a very weird dynamic traction control system that is a little bit unconventional. But if you do decide to go the M2, the advantage you get is that once you upgrade to the next class, to going from rookie to D class, you can still race the M2 and D class. So if you decide to start in the MX-5, which will be the easier one, once you graduate to the D class, you'll have to choose either the M2 Cup or the GR86 Cup. So it'll just be a little bit more adjustment. So I'll leave that up to you.
Gotcha.
But what are you thinking?
Unfortunately, a lot of times, Miata is always the answer. In this case, I don't think so, because getting to the end, to the GT3, Miatas are largely momentum cars. Same thing with the GR86, but it's more of a little bit of torque. So in order to keep the consistency of having to manage power and go around the corners and not necessarily drive a momentum car, I'm going to go with them too.
I think I agree with that, especially too because after D class, then your third license will be C. So that one you're in the GT4 no matter what. So the M2 will definitely be a better progression, an easier progression into the GT4. And then like I said, you'll be able to race in the M2 in both rookie and D class. So you'll definitely get more time in that car. And I think by the time you're in D class, you'll already have the experience with the car to get up to speed. But as I mentioned, there are some weird intricacies with this specific car. So I'm excited for you to try it out and learn the car. But we are going to continue on the 3 phases of the onboarding that we started last time, even though we are pivoting into a different car. So you showed that you could go and control the car. It is a different car, but generally same iRacing physics, all of that. You showed that you could handle that sort of stint. So now we're going to look at your consistency. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on to Okayama we'll do, and we're going to do the M2 Cup, and you're going to drive. Your goal is to get 10 laps in a row within a second of each other. So once you're able to do that, then we're going to move into phase 3, which is the racing against the AI, where we're looking just for clean racing, not as much positional based. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the decisions we have to make now. And just updating you guys on the new format for the team. But yeah, excited to see you hop in the car, and we'll see what you can do.
Sick, can't wait to try it. Don't remember how to drive this track again. It's like no grip in the rear. Okay. Turn back on traction control. Okay. Someone help me with throttle control here. These mirrors are getting hot. Bro. I am sweating.
See some certain things
For
because
sure.
I know the car definitely has like certain quirks to it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I see on lap 15 you got 43.6.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'll figure out how to make that
44s
repeatable.
in there. Yep, yeah. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, the consistency, definitely see it.
Yeah, it was
Didn't get the-
getting there until like one of the I think the last corner. On some of the first corners, I went off into the gravel and I put it on the track. So as I'm exiting now, going over the gravel, applying more gas, it just spins me. So I'll just have to be cleaner at the front, and of course with the tire temp and everything and the brake temp, get it up the temp instead of just going straight for it.
Mm-hmm. And you've done iRacing before, or you haven't?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, in the Miatas.
How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
So now they have where the gravel, once you go off track, the gravel goes on track and will stay
Yeah,
there.
yep.
So I saw that a few times when you were going around. That
Yep.
affects you a lot now.
Yeah, I see that.
Mhm. They made a lot of changes that it's definitely harder. And like you saw right away with the cold tires as well.
Yeah.
It takes a lot longer to get them up to speed and
Yeah,
really get
like
that
3
down.
laps worth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I saw, finally by lap 4, then that's when you were, more near your
Yeah.
final pace. But yeah, so next time, we'll get you back on this again.
Yep.
Try to get that consistency down.
Yep.
Just yourself on track.
Mhm.
And then, once you're feel comfortable with that, then we'll throw you in the races with the AI.
Awesome.
And then, from there, then we'll jump in online. But, in the meantime, I sent you that user
Yeah, I'm
guide.
gonna go over that for sure.
Yeah, and then we'll definitely over time too, sort of look at things that you're struggling with and sort of
Yep.
use that user guide to focus on certain things
That'd
and
be very
just
helpful.
learn more about the car.
Yep.
Hi guys, so we're back on day 2 for Jordan's consistency test. So Jordan, you did your first session previously. How did you feel after it? What were your thoughts on the car and the driving overall?
Yeah, no, that car is challenging. There's no other way to put it. It's gonna help me be a better driver for sure. Have never experienced a car like that, I don't think, in any game. Especially not being able to really change the aspects about it, but being able to adapt to it, I think it'll give me an edge when it comes to wheel and racing and all that against other people.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you were close in the first day to getting that, those 10 laps within a second.
Yep.
But like you said, even if you did hit it, you felt like you still needed more practice.
Yeah.
So that's what Jordan is now, back again for. So again, you're going to try to hit those 10 laps within a second to move on to phase 3, which would then be the 2 races against the AI.
Yep.
But Jordan, I'll leave you to it now.
Awesome.
Get practicing and good luck. Hope to see you improve.
Yeah,
and let's get it.
I'm gonna try the consistency out now. 10 laps within the 1 second. We're gonna early break. Try not to carry a lot of speed through here. Late throttle application. So their tire wear is on, as well as other forms of wear. I do have to drive more conservatively now. I like that. Take different lines and such because I don't really have the same grip as what I had first off. It's our last lap. Oh my goodness. I pulled it out at the graveyard with that one. Oh my gosh. I'll do one more just in case I'm a number short with how many laps I'm doing.
All right, so Jordan, so you did it. You did 17 laps. See, in lap 7, lap 7 was your first lap getting in the 143s, and then you did lap 7 through 17 all in the 143s.
So I did exactly 10.
Yep,
Oh,
you did
jeez.
exactly 10.
I was gonna stop at 9, so.
There you go. So you just hit the benchmark. So how did it feel?
It felt a lot better this time. I guess I was in a better state of mind. Driving, which is it's a huge thing, honestly. If you're not prepared to drive, like it just won't connect. You can try as much as you want; those corners will not add up. So yeah, I'm happy that it worked. I know I was trying not to set hero laps like first off, because I'm like I knew if I set one like corner that I'm like, this is borderline illegal. Like, I didn't want to have to do that for the other, 9 laps. So tried to go pretty conservative on it, be consistent, and yeah. So it felt like I think I was it might be a second off optimal, which is like 42.5, I think it is. But I can definitely do that with other cars in the pack. So
Nice. Yeah, I see too. You hit your fastest lap in lap 14, so right towards the end of the session. So definitely seeing improvement there. From that, best lap was a 1:43.1.
gotcha.
So good lap and
Happy with that.
good consistency.
Appreciate it.
So next time you come in, we'll move on to phase 3, which will be the 2 races against the AI. See how you do there, but that should be a whole different beast.
Yeah, it should.
And then after that, you're into the grand world of online racing.
Yep.
So we're almost there.
Yep.
But thanks for coming, Jordan, and good job in the session. And
Appreciate it.
can't wait to see you next time for those AI races.
It's gonna be exciting.
Thank you, guys.